Hello.
Hello.
I feel like we started dead suddenly as I pressed the timer then. Welcome to episode 17 of Sibling Rivalry. Thanks for joining us. If you're new, thanks for checking us out. Because last week's episode had a bit of a boost, didn't it?
Yeah,
Did
it
quite well audience-wise. And then I always think, what have we done this week? And then I can never remember.
Same.
Well, we went for lunch, didn't we, on Sunday?
Yeah, that was really nice.
I posted about it on the Twitter saying it was a team lunch, but it was basically just an excuse for me to get pissed, I think. Well, not really, was it? Because we wanted to go, didn't we?
Yeah.
You finally had that pasta dish.
Oh, it was so good.
Did you enjoy it then, yeah?
Yeah.
That was funny, that.
You could tell I was enjoying it.
What made me laugh about that is I was thinking about the fact that you'd put it in your death row meal before you'd even eaten it. Do you remember that? So that was on an early episode. I think that might have only been about 3 or 4 episodes in. But I couldn't get my head around it at all. But would you keep it in there now?
Yes, definitely.
I am drinking again because, you know, it's my podcast, fuck you. When we were next to that family, weren't we, that was a bit mental. So I think they'd been to like a wedding the day before, sort of half picking up what they were saying. And they were like gobsmacked by the fact that there was table service at the Spoons. Did you hear them talking about that?
Oh, yeah.
And they were like, couldn't believe it. And I was like, it's been going
for a while. It's going on since COVID.
Since COVID, and it never really stopped, did it?
No, it's still going.
Yeah. So I was confused. But they were like blown away that you could just order it straight to your table.
We were trying not to laugh loudly while...
I can't not laugh loudly. I don't have that skill.
Whereas I can.
Yeah, we were talking about that at the weekend, weren't we? The fact that, like, you can't half contain your laughter, you can see that you're laughing because you're like shaking and stuff, but you can hold it in really well. And I'm so envious of that because my laugh's shocking and it's just dead loud as well. And I just can't help it. Like, I've got no control over it whatsoever. And then they were like gobsmacked by that, weren't they?
Yeah.
They got there with about 2 minutes left to order breakfast. So they were on the phones, like, flapping to each other because some of them were early and some of them weren't there. So that was funny, just listening to them have a meltdown about the fact that they might not be able to get a full English if they're 3 minutes late or whatever. As if that was the end of the world. To be fair, though, we had a bit of a fiasco, didn't we? Because we got there at, like, 11:30. And then our Ben texted me saying lunch doesn't start till 12. And I hadn't eaten anything, had I? I was starving. And I'd been, like, quite active that morning. I'd, like, took Mika out, I'd been cleaning and stuff as well.
Yeah, we all have, really, that day.
So I was starving. So I had a drink at 11:30 before I'd even had any food whatsoever. I had a pint.
Yeah, you did.
And then I think I had 3 beers, didn't I? And 2 rum and cokes. But I didn't feel that bad there.
No.
I don't think I seemed it either, did I?
You didn't, no.
And then, because we went into town after it, didn't we? And I wasn't, like...
You weren't, like...
all over the place or nothing. Because we went into Asda so I could get more beer.
And we went into Waterstone so I could get...
You got another one of the strike books.
Yeah, I got the first one, because what I didn't know was the one I've already read was the last one.
I think there's 6, isn't there? And you read the 6th one first.
Yeah, so I'm going to read them all in order before.
That was funny, that.
I didn't realise at the time.
Oh, and there was that kid. Did it tell you about the Let's Go Dad dance?
I saw it.
Well, you were there, yeah. You saw it. So
I was looking over him like that.
That family, so there was about 6 of them, and I think some of them were like cousins that we don't see all the time or whatever. But there was like 2 parents, so there was a mum and dad and then 2 kids that were all like obviously from the same house.
Yeah.
They weren't there for that long either, were they?
Not really, no.
But that kid was like fed up, wasn't he? You could just tell, like...
Yeah, he was like quite antsy.
He just wanted to go, probably, didn't he?
Yeah.
And obviously his mum and dad are like chatting away to the cousins or whoever it was, maybe one of their brothers, that they obviously don't see all the time. And the kid just started doing like this little dance next to his dad to try and get his attention, didn't he?
Yeah.
It was, what's that weird shy flossing? Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
He was doing that and he was going like, let's go, Dad. Let's go. And his dad was just like patting him on the head. And
like, all right, son.
Okay, sure. No, I felt quite sorry for them. Well, him. That was funny as well. How long were we there? It weren't long, was it? Probably about 3 hours, and I had like 5 drinks.
Yeah.
I kept going like,
Are you?
You alright? Are you alright if I get another one? Because you don't drink either.
Yeah, I'm just like, yes.
But
And
we had the
did-
dessert as well, didn't we? That was
Oh,
nice.
yeah.
So yeah, when we come back, I was half cut.
Ben and Maddie came as well.
What
didn't they,
time
for
did we
tea?
get back? About 2:30? No, it was later than that, wasn't it?
I think it was
About
around
3.
3-ish, yeah.
So I just carried on drinking because it was like, what else are you meant to do when you're drunk? Well, I wasn't drunk, but I was on my way to drunk. 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and your brother and his girlfriend are coming. I couldn't just sit there because I would have just gone to sleep.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So they turn up and I was drinking. But they said they seemed alright as well, didn't they? They were like, oh, you don't seem that bad. But I couldn't eat because I'd been drinking for too long. And we'd already eaten quite a lot for our lunch, hadn't we?
Yeah, you had a few spring rolls that I had with my tea.
Yeah, and then you pinched one of them and I'd had fuck all to eat and you pinched one of the other ones.
Mum, I asked Mum if I could have the last one. She
You
said,
didn't
yeah.
ask me, did you?
Oh, I don't know how to.
And yeah, so I was drinking obviously when they were here, but they showed us that video off the Ring camera, didn't they? Of the postman. So he's got one of them doorbells, like that. Obviously you can see and
The
it
Ring
records
doorbells.
and you can get sound through it, which I didn't know, which has actually changed my whole outlook on life now after hearing what happened on whatever day it was to this fella. So they've got the same postman that comes to ours, and he's a bit of a character, isn't he? Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I don't do what he does.
No, I won't do it on here. I'm not that bad. So we already it shows that we're bad people, but like we quite often
It's not me that does
we
it.
just have me and my mum, because Ellie's a good little angel who never does anything wrong.
I have an angel looking at me.
But every now and again we'll have a little bit of a laugh about him because he's
A character.
He's odd. So I can't remember how it come about because I was drinking. But he was laughing. I think he'd already seen the video himself, hadn't he?
Yeah.
So he was telling us about it, and then
He showed us it.
and it's the postman walking up to the door and just posting letters. But this is how I found out you can hear the sound. Because he's walking down the stairs and he's going like, oh, fuck.
He goes, ow.
Ow. And just did this massive fart. And it was like all picked up on the doorbell because it was right outside his house. Honest to God, it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. I forgot about it, like, the next day. Not like forgot, but I just like, because he sent me the video, didn't he? And I forgot he'd sent me it, which is what I was trying to say. So I watched it the next day when I was in work, and I was just crying my eyes out again, like sitting at my desk, and I was like, "What's that? Oh, aye!" And then I thought, I've got to watch this now. So I put it on, and it was just unbelievable. It's so funny. Yeah, and then so Ben and Maddie were at ours. They had tea, I didn't eat. And then I said to Mum, "Do you fancy going to the pub for a bit?" Didn't I? And what time did we go? It must have been
7, I think.
It was a bit earlier than that, wasn't it? Because I was in bed by 8:30. But we went and I had like a pint. And then I got the hiccups.
Yeah, you do.
And I can't function. I don't get them very often, but I only ever get them when I'm like a bit drunk.
They're painful though.
Yeah, and it like ends me night. So we were sitting at the table and I was still like conscious of what I was doing. So I was like, I'm alright because I'm not like fucked.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't, for the life of me, stop the hiccups. And Mum's like, should we go home? And I was like, no, I'm fine. We'll stay for a bit, I'm fine. And then I went to the toilet and tried to get rid of them and just had no luck.
Then you go to the bar and order another pint and then just ordered a taxi.
Yeah.
Without telling Mum.
Pretty much. And then, so we were literally in the pub for about an hour max, weren't we? I don't even know if it was that long.
I think it was less than that. I think
Was
it was
it?
about half an hour. Yeah,
Was
because
it?
you just came in like shortly before 8. And like I had the door open. And I was just like, what the? I was expecting you later than that. So the dog is up like a shot.
And I'm just in the door and
Sounds like me when I get the hiccups.
you sound like Goofy. So I was in bed by 8:30, like I say.
Yeah, you were.
So I was alright on Monday because I slept like shitloads. Monday was yesterday, wasn't it? Slept like a baby. were great.
Yeah.
But I had a dead good day on my own, just getting hammered. Well, not on my own, but I was getting hammered by myself.
Like one of my invisibles.
Yeah. But it was nice though, wasn't it? I really
Yeah, it was
enjoyed it.
nice.
And we had a treat ourselves a little pudding in that as well, which was lovely.
Yeah, we couldn't stop laughing. And every time you did something, we couldn't stop laughing. I could contain the noise of my laughter, but you couldn't.
And then after that table left, I realised that the pub wasn't actually that full, was it?
No.
And then there was like a group of 4 sitting like immediately behind us, and it was like awkwardly
Yeah.
close, wasn't it? Which made me so uncomfortable. Just, I get dead like claustrophobic maybe. I don't know if it's that, but I'm quite awkward in social situations anyway, I'd say. Like, well, you're quite similar, aren't you?
Yeah.
Not
in
that
a
you're
way.
awkward, you're still yourself, but I feel internally like I'm dying. Like, just every now and again, I'm like, oh, fuck, why have I done this? Why have I come out the house? And I have to like have a little word with myself. And that wasn't helping. But yeah, I forgot we went to Waterstones as well. That shows how drunk I was, doesn't it? I wasn't even drunk then though, was I?
No, you were still walking fine, you were talking fine.
Yeah, and then we got the dog a new toy, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
And
Because every time you treat yourself, you feel guilty.
yeah, and then you bought them, to be fair. Egg custards for Mum, because she really likes them.
Mm.
And I felt bad.
Yeah.
So that was my little guilt presents for them.
I'm being bothered.
No one gives a shit. No one. But I've talked about it on here before, I think.
I think I'm a bit like that as well, in a
Just
way.
eternal guilt I've got. I don't even know how you sum it up. I don't know I'm not eloquent enough to explain it properly.
Mm.
But I always feel like I've either upset someone and I'm waiting for it to all come crashing down.
I'm like that.
Or I'm going to do something that upsets someone even though I completely don't mean to. So even that, so for me to like go out and do something and try and enjoy myself, it's pathetic and it's my problem. But I have to like check with people that they're like whether it's going to upset them or do you know what I mean?
Mm.
And then I feel like okay, everyone's okay. I can actually go out and enjoy myself.
Yeah, I think I'm a bit similar to you in a way as well.
It's weird, isn't it?
Because I just apologise for the smallest things, don't I?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, I don't necessarily apologise all the time, but I always check before stuff. But yeah, you apologise for everything, don't you?
Yeah.
And we're always like, no one's annoyed.
Your mum are just like, what?
Why are you saying sorry? No one gives a shit.
I'm just like, I don't know.
Oh, you haven't been out with the dog for a bit, have you?
No.
Just once, wasn't it? But that was after I swapped the harness.
Oh.
Fucking hell, that's been an ordeal.
Yeah, but you've been quite busy with work and stuff, and I've either.
You've been out, so I've just had to sort of take her when I've had a bit of time to go.
Yeah.
Essentially, I've just gone right. I've probably got 45 minutes here. Take the dog out now.
Yeah.
So the old harness was like a purple harness with like a name on and stuff, and I really liked it.
I think Mum's ordered a new one.
Yeah, she has. But that was like a Velcro thing around the front, and then it clipped underneath. And the Velcro thing started to pop off, hadn't it?
Quite a lot.
But it probably started about 2 weeks ago, didn't it?
Yeah, because it's perfectly fine. It's just.
But it was fine, and then it was fine. It'd do it like once or twice, and then it wouldn't happen for like a week. But then towards the end of last week, maybe, it was like every 5 steps it was popping off. So I just had to put and I hate doing this, but I had to put the lead on a collar.
Oh, I hate doing
But
I hate doing that.
But I wouldn't have control of her otherwise. You know what I mean? And because it was obviously on a collar, she was really calm, to be honest, afterwards, which was good. But like, if we see another dog, she goes mad, doesn't she?
Yeah, you're more worried about choking her, aren't you?
But it's not just that as well. I mean, with the harness, like I was thinking, if this harness pops off and she goes, she's gone, and I can't do anything about it. So we swapped back to an old one we've got, didn't we? Oh. And I fucking hate this old one.
I hate that one as well.
Because it sits really low on her back, so it like pulls her. So if she starts pulling, she goes like sideways, and it just looks like it's going to hurt, and I don't like it.
Yeah, because you feel like you could just get a crush.
So I end up like standing in all mad positions just to try and like straighten her out so she doesn't. So I end up like I look like an idiot spinning round on walks.
Yeah, because you just feel like you're gonna crush her ribs or something like that.
It's pathetic. But
shows how much we love the dog. Don't it?
But we swapped to that one just for now.
Yeah, Mum's ordering a new one. No, it's pretty much the same one as the purple one she's
Yeah.
already got.
And then
We've still got our name stuff, haven't we? And we've got spare ones
so
somewhere.
I swapped it to that other one, and I didn't like it anyway. And then
Mm.
took her out for a walk today, and she was an absolute nightmare.
How many dogs did you see this time?
4 again.
Jeez.
I know. But she weren't that bad
Mm.
until... So the kids are all off again, aren't they? So I'm avoiding Raffles and I'm coming down Wilmer.
Yeah,
You know,
because
they all hang out.
it's the 6 week holidays, isn't it?
Yes,
So
and that's quite a busy road with kids on Raffles,
it
isn't
is,
it?
yeah, because they're all like
Quite young as well.
about that big or something.
So I was like, well, I'll come round Wilmer and I'll be
yeah.
alright.
Well, you're more worried about the kids around.
Yeah, it's just so like
The
Mika
dog.
doesn't jump on anyone and stuff. She's dead friendly, she wouldn't hurt anyone, but she's excitable, isn't she?
Yeah.
But we were coming down Wilmer, and you know, there's that little house when we walk up and there's that
Oh,
garden
yeah.
she barks at sometimes. That little dog was out in the garden, like in the front
Oh,
garden
was
with
it?
the fence shut. So she starts barking, and I didn't see this dog, 'cause it's tiny. So we've literally got to the
Mika's
gate, and
massive compared to
she's
this
like
dog.
barking at this dog, and this dog's barking back. They can't get to each other because it's a gate, and you couldn't get through it. But she just hopped out of the harness.
What?
I know. So the thing that goes around the front, she just hopped through it. So I was like, well, we can't use this one either then, can we?
I've never known her to do that.
Oh, she used to do it all the time with that one. That was why I stopped using it. I didn't like it anyway because of the pull. But I'd completely forgotten she could do that. Like, completely
Or
forgotten.
hop out like a gazelle.
Yeah. So she just hopped out of it and started barking at this gate. And I was like, ah! Oh my god!
Like, what do I do?
Yeah, so I had to, like, again, just put the lead on a collar.
Like-
Luckily, we were only round the corner, but...
You were just like, Mika.
Yeah, honestly, it's been... I've got, like, PTSD from the past few walks. Because she's just...
Yeah, well, me and Mum got a walk because she's too bloody strong.
No, she's too powerful, isn't she?
Yeah.
But the other day as well, I took her out. This is a bit grim, but I've started the story now.
You're gonna have to tell her now.
So she normally poos in the same place, doesn't she? We're on the same road. She's got like a favourite specs where she poos. But we were crossing like literally the top of our road the other day, and she had a poo there. And I was part of me was like, fuck's sake, but I was also close to a bin. So I was like, great, nailed it. I can chuck this in the bin and I'm done. Because she normally won't go. She never poos twice, does she?
No.
And then we were walking down Clifton Road,
Pardon me.
which is where she normally goes. And she stopped and squatted to go again. And I literally went, you cannot be pooing again, like dead loud. Like, you've got to be joking. And I was like, oh God.
You're just like seeing if anyone's
And then that
behind.
was the one where I had to fucking carry it around for 20 minutes then because you don't go past the bin for ages.
No.
Oh, but it's been an eventful week with the dog. Like. Luckily she's knackered today because she's been out and then was our pizza before as well.
Yeah.
So she's tired herself out.
With all the excitement.
Honestly, like, I'd get to the point where I was like, I don't want to take it. But obviously, I will always do it. But, you know, like, I know this is going to be a nightmare before we even leave the house. So that harness, the new one, can't get here quick enough. Honestly.
I'm not sure when, Mum. Well, I think it was today.
It was only today, yeah, because it was today she hopped out of it. So.
Did she get it from Amazon?
I don't know. She's ordered it anyway, so it'll be here soon.
Yeah.
Quite quick,
fingers
didn't
crossed.
our first bit.
Yeah, it did.
So, second section, we started doing funny flashbacks. I've picked family parties this week, so we've got a few stories about that. I think everyone's got family party stories, haven't they?
I know, but ours are...
Our family's crazy.
Yeah.
But so everyone thinks their own family's crazy, don't they?
Oh no, until you met ours.
And then we'll do some Would You Rathers and we'll finish off. So we'll see you in a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back.
Mm-hmm. We're back.
Second section. I've lost my bit of the notes, which doesn't help the start, but here we are. No beer related emergencies during this break, which is always positive, isn't it? So funny flashbacks this week. I mentioned in the last section. I've picked family parties for this one. So I mentioned it last week, but we're going to try and pick a theme for each week. Just to try and help us kind of jog our memories a bit about stuff, isn't it? But again, please send some of these in because I really like this section. I don't want to keep doing it, but it's hard when we just talk about ourselves.
Yeah, and basically, when we theme them, this theme's based on like Christmas Day, or New Year's or
Sort of
anything.
any time you get together with your family,
Yeah.
But send us some in if you've got any at Sibling Rival Pod, even if they're related to this week's topic. We can still read some of them out before we move on to something else next week. So I'll start us off, and then I think we'll do your one second. So it must be about 9 or 10 years ago now, which feels mental to say, but it was when Joni, Lindsay, and James were home,
Oh yeah.
and we had a barbecue. It was on Anna and Lee's, wasn't it?
Yeah.
See, how was that 9 or 10 years ago? But it is anyway. It was about that long ago. And it was a dead nice day because all of our family were together. And we're quite close knit, but we don't see each other loads. So I don't know if that makes sense to people, but I think probably a lot of families are the same.
Well, we don't see Joni, Lindsay, and James because
They live in South Africa.
Yeah.
But even with everyone else, like I don't see them all the time, but because of your family, you find it quite easy to just sort of nip back together, don't you? So our family parties are always quite fun. Everyone's a bit of a character.
Well, they're very rare now, aren't they? Because we don't always.
But I mean, you can see from what me and you are like that everyone's a character in our family. So it was just a lovely experience for everyone to get together. One of them sort of one-off occasions, the stars aligned.
And it was a nice summer as well.
It was a lovely day, wasn't it, as well? Yeah. So everyone was just having a drink, and it was nice to our cousins have got quite a big age gap. So there's me and Ben and our Sam in the middle with Lindsay and James. Then you're a lot younger. And then above that's Chrissy, who's 40 odd. 47, 48.
Yeah, I'm one of the youngest. I'm the youngest cousin.
Yeah, so there's a big difference, but we're all pretty close, aren't we?
Yeah.
And I noticed throughout the day, as I was going to the toilet, do you know them little minions off? What's that
Despicable
film?
Me.
Despicable Me, that's it. They had 2 of them in the bathroom, and every time I went to the toilet, they were in different sex positions. So every time I went through, and then I was like, right, well, I've got to get in on this. So I was changing it every time, and then you'd go back again, whenever, and it was changed again. It was just this. No one talked about this game. No one said a word, but we were all playing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And obviously, I mean, I'm a booze hound at the minute, I'm drinking now, but I'm not as bad as I used to be when I was younger. And I'd use any excuse to have a day on the piss. I mean, especially when everyone's doing it. But so what I'm trying to say is I was having a wonderful time, and I was really getting on well with Anna's husband Lee, and we were just a couple of blokes, any excuse to drink. And we started drinking Jaeger. You found a bottle of Jaeger, so we started doing shots of that, and then we ran out, and we were going to go and get more. But obviously, when you're drunk and you've been drinking, it takes a while for that plan to actually come together, doesn't it? So we were just running around his house, and he's obviously older than me. I don't know how old they are now, but he must have been in his 30s at the time. Me and him were just running around his house, just going, Jaeger, all over the place, and everyone's like, what are you doing? We just kept disappearing into his shed. We had a man cave in there. And then I can't remember who there was, but there was definitely me and Lee, and maybe our Ben, kept nipping in to do shots. And probably everyone, to be fair, but I just remember it was me and Lee the most because we were shouting Jaeger around the house.
Well, not me, because I was too young.
No, not you, but... And then we finally went, we'll go to the shop and get, because we needed more Jaeger. I think that's what we went for. And he had these bikes that him and Anna used, so we rode to the shop. I don't know why we thought that was a good idea when we were pissed. I hadn't been on a bike for years, but we went on these bikes anyway. And then we were riding, and no one crashed or nothing, it was fine. But we get back to theirs, and the weather was dead nice, wasn't it? But so I don't know how this was there, but I got off the bike and I stood in this massive puddle of mud. Just put my foot right into it. You know straight away as well, don't you?
Yeah, you're just oh.
I was like, that's absolute. And I had white Converse on. So I had one white Converse just coated in mud. So I had to just take my shoes off. I know. And then I woke up the next day and I was still there. Julie had stayed as well, I think. But I woke up on their couch and I was just awesome. I've got to get home yet as well then. I don't know what Julie's like. as well. Like, she was like, right, you can help me do some jobs then. We ended up going to the tip of it and everything, with all the booze from the day. I was just like, this is horrible. I had one muddy shoe. I was hanging. So that was a fun one. And I thought we'd use Joni being home that time too, and then last one was a couple of years ago for you, wasn't it? But Joni was home again at the time, wasn't she?
Yeah. So Jenny was home again at the time, and we arranged to go to the pub. Have
So my mum's one of 6, so it was all of her sisters and her brother, and then there was me, you, and our Sarah as well, wasn't there?
Yeah.
I think that was everyone, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was it. I don't think our band came. I don't think so. Anyway, we'd all gone to the Weatherspoons, and we were just like, it was nice to catch up and stuff because we hadn't seen each other.
Good, like one of them things. Getting everyone together is hard, isn't it? So
yeah. So anyway, I was drinking cider, wasn't I? But I was
Copperberg, wasn't it? And they were doing it. You could get pints of it, couldn't you?
Yeah, and the first few I was pretty much down, and like I was drinking water.
Oh, it was. I mean, we must have only been there half an hour, I reckon.
And I'd already gone through.
I think you'd had 2 in half an hour, which is a wild speed to drink at. Especially for someone who doesn't drink.
I didn't realise I was drinking that speed, though, to be honest.
I think you had about 4 in an hour or something, didn't you? Like, it was ridiculous.
I was just like, enjoying being around family and stuff, so I wasn't paying much attention to it.
No, but it was funny because you were pretty drunk pretty quick.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised with the shoes I was wearing as well. I'm honestly surprised I could stay upright.
And then, sort of as everyone left, we wanted to stay up. Not stay up, but we wanted to carry on, didn't we? And so did our Sarah.
Yeah.
So we went and got her dog, didn't we?
Yeah.
And brought them here. And then
that was fun. Because Sarah's dog's a male and he hasn't been
neutered, is that the word? He hasn't had his plums chopped.
No, he kept trying to hump Mika.
Well, he was trying to hump anything that moved.
I know, but when he was trying to hump Mika wasn't having any of it.
He tried to hump my leg a few times.
He was trying to hump my back at some point as well. I was like, Teddy.
And it was like, Mum was like well on board, wasn't she? So I think it might have even been Mum's idea that time, actually.
I think so.
Mum might have said to Sarah, why don't you come back to ours for a bit? And then we got back, and about 10 minutes later, Mum went to bed, didn't she?
Yeah, she was. 1 minute I was looking over at her, she was like that.
Falling asleep in the chair in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Oh, so this wasn't one I've written down, but remember the other year when the Euros were on it? It might have still been during the pandemic, but it was at the point where you could have people.
I think so, yeah.
And we used getting people around for the Euros anyway. I don't know what the rules were at the time, so if I was breaking any, I'm sorry. But we were having just a couple of mates round, so it was like a couple of people from down the road that we've known forever.
It was like childhood mates, for you and Ben.
And then Graham from work as well. And we was just have a drink watching the England games when they were on. But one day I think England played quite early and there was like 3 matches on that day. And I think Tom stayed for a bit and Graham stayed for a bit, sort of after everyone else had gone. And then Tom left and it was just me and Graham. We were just watching the last game of the day. And I walked into the kitchen and Mum had a ciggy in her hand, and she'd fell asleep again, which is the point of it. And it had burnt like right down to the filter. And because it was like a normal ciggy, it just burned down to the filter and none of it had like fell off or anything, so it was just all ash down to the filter of the ciggy, and she was just asleep like that. And I was like, Mum. So there's another example. So I fall asleep all the time. That's where I get it from. With this next one, I feel like it's very important to state that this took place in like 1997 or 1998. So at the time, this was funny. So when me and Ben must have been obviously 97, 98, about 5 or 6. And we went to stay with Chrissy and Jenny. They lived in Lincoln at the time. So Chrissy was in the RAF, and that was where his base was. I remember that. So we went up there I can't remember how long, it might have been a week, but there was a party anyway. Well, during the time we were there were like loads of our mates and that. Yeah. But it was fancy dress. So Me, Mum dressed me and our Ben up as pimps.
I don't know when it is.
You don't know what a pimp is?
No.
Is this happening on the podcast? So do you know prostitutes?
Oh.
Well, sorry, no, sex workers. Famously, like, I don't know if it goes on anymore. I don't know what the rules. I don't know how that world works.
Mm.
But when oh my god, I can't believe I'm being the person to tell you this. So you get like a group of girls that'd be the workers, and they had a pimp who was like a man who basically looked after them and looked after them.
Yeah, okay.
Told them what to do, basically. Like, you should take most of the money and boss them around and not do it. But Mum thought it'd be funny to dress us up at 5 or 6 as pimps. So you won't remember these, and these are going to sound really, really old to you. But you used to be able to get tracksuit bottoms with like pop. What's that? Pop buttons, would you call them? So the buttons just pop off and they go up the leg. So you could like undo the buttons right up the leg and have like your leg out essentially.
Like stud.
Like pop studs, yeah. So Mum like popped them up to like halfway up our legs or something, and then like sewed material in it, so it looked like we had flares on. And then she drew little muzzies on us, and we had like fancy shirts on, just so we looked a bit daft. But that was funny because we were only really young and we didn't even know what a pimp was then. You know what I mean?
And Mum wouldn't have told you about it anyway.
No, but we were just dressed up as these two pimps with like no idea really what was going on. And that was the first time I ever really had a drink, 5 or 6. But when I say it was like this much in the bottom of a glass or whatever.
Yeah.
I wasn't getting loads, but it was just so I could like join in. You know what I mean? Because they were doing like down and races and stuff, and I was like, I want to play because I was a little attention seeker. But at that same party, Mum was like kicking everyone. Not kicking everyone. Mum was like
not literally. Sorry, there's
telling everyone to just get off the couch so she could fall asleep on the couch. So there's another one. She fell asleep again.
Was she pissed?
She was pissed, yeah. And then I've got one from Christmas a few years ago. This is actually Ben and Nan.
Oh yeah, then I'd put this one in.
Yeah, but I don't know if you remember it because it was we must have been 18 or 19, so you must have only been 7 or 8.
I don't think I remember it fully.
But you just remember it because it comes up every now and again, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So obviously it was Christmas Day, and we used to all go round to one of my auntie's houses on Christmas Day, and me Nan had come for a little bit, but she'd never stay that long, would she? But she used to drink.
It's very bad. She used to drink port and
lemon.
Oh my god!
And that was the same year. So this is going a bit further forward in time. But that was the same year after Nan had gone. About half an hour after she'd left. So she was sitting by the telly, in a chair by the telly, and about half an hour after she'd left, I looked behind the TV and there was just one of her drinks, just chilling, because she'd obviously decided she'd had enough and didn't want to tell whoever it was.
As she does.
And just put the drink there, so that was funny. But there was, I think, it was me, Nan and our Ben were in the front room and all the kids were just playing.
Yeah, because now I'm sitting on the chair and then Ben was sitting on the arm next to her.
And most of us were in the kitchen just chatting and whatever.
Yeah, but you could hear our Ben because Nan was deaf.
Yeah, but they were both drunk as well. And that was one of the only times I've ever seen my Nan drunk, I think. That I was aware that she was drunk, if you get me.
I think that's the first time I've ever seen her like that. Yeah.
And our Ben was drunk as well. So our Ben's quite funny with drinking up family stuff. He always says he's not gonna, doesn't he?
And then he ends up.
And then he always does.
Yeah.
So they were both drunk. My Nan's quite deaf anyway, but our Ben was drunk, so he's talking louder. And you could just hear these two voices like really loud from the front room. Everyone in the kitchen kind of just stopped talking. And then we realised it was me Nan and our Ben having this like really deep chat. So Ben used watched this TV show a few years ago called Band of Brothers.
That was it. That's what me and Mum were trying to.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Nan had watched it as well, hasn't she?
So you could just hear them like
talking about
just proper waffling about this, and then like talking about actual war, which obviously Nan lived through, but Ben didn't. So what's he got to say about war?
No.
You could just...
Well, he'd probably like hearing Nan talk about it or something like that. Oh God.
So we could just hear, and it was a while, and you could just hear these two like drunk, loud voices like shouting at each other essentially, because my Nan couldn't hear anything. So that was funny because that was one of the only times I saw my Nan drunk. Oh, and then one year So obviously I'm a bit weird, aren't I? And like I like to make people laugh, and I'll quite
Yeah.
happily like embarrass myself to make other people have a giggle, won't I? So one year I think it was a New Year's party. I've got two in New Year's actually, and then we'll finish these and move on. So the first one, they were both New Year's parties at Chrissy and Jenny's. So the first one, I think I was maybe 18 or 19, but it was like I was just sort of legally allowed to drink and stuff. And so I'd lost, that used to be like, I'm drinking underage, aren't I? Cool. No one was like that, honestly. Everyone was just like, you can have a couple of drinks because you're with your family. But in my head, I was like, I've lost my thing. So what am I going to have now? I'm not going to be interesting to these people. So I decided I'd dye my hair blue. I had hair back then. So we went to, I think it was only like Home Bargains, and just bought like a cheap blue hair dye. And I dyed my hair blue thinking everyone's going to take the piss out of me and it'll be quite funny. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, it's going to be great this, because everyone would just point and laugh at me and I didn't give a shit. So I'd just been like, whatever. So we did it. We bought the hair dye, we dyed it, and then we went. Fucking everyone just was like, oh, it looks quite cool, to be fair. So no one even found it funny. I was furious. I was like, the only reason I've done this is to get a laugh. And no one even thinks it's funny. So like, this is stupid. I mean, I'd kill for that blue hair now, because I've got no hair. But at the time, I was like, I've put all this effort into dye.
Why would you just put it on your head? It's like, just
Yeah, just blue skull. So I put all that effort in. And everyone was just like, it looks quite good. And I was like, well, this isn't what I wanted at all. And then another New Year. So this was the year I was going to quite a lot of Liverpool games. So it must have been like 2015. I don't know. It was around that time anyway. And I was going to the New Year's party, but I was also going to the Liverpool game. We were playing Man City at Anfield. We won 1-0. Gino Wijnaldum header. Not that you give a shit about that. But, so I was quite late getting there anyway, because I went to match first. And then I was playing beer pong, which is, do you know what that is?
Yeah, I do.
Where you all have like...
This is like Chrissy's.
A Chrissy's, yeah.
Yeah.
And all Adam was pouring the drinks in the cups for everyone. But I didn't know that he was only doing this to me. But he was pouring mine full. And you're only meant to put like that much booze in. So obviously you drink quite a lot playing beer pong. But I played 2 games and got battered in both of them. So I drank like 10 full cups of beer in about max 40 minutes.
Oh, jeez.
I know. I don't even know why I carried on playing. The second, I should have just stopped after the first one and been like, I'm not drinking that much again, like to play another game. But I did it anyway. And this was like, say, 9:45, 9 o'clock. And so I didn't make it to midnight, because about half an hour later I was just in the toilet, like hung over the toilet like that.
No, okay, come to the left.
So that was another one. So I'm not a good drinker as much as I like to think I am. So I turned up late.
Well, you're not as bad as Ben.
No, but so I turned up late, got battered at beer pong, and then basically had to go to bed. So that is this week's funny flashbacks. Like I say, please send some in, because I really like this section, and it helps if we can just see other people's stories. Maybe it'll trigger some for us or whatever.
Yeah.
It helps us come up with like themes and stuff.
I mean, I know people don't like to embarrass themselves, but
it's fun, innit? All in the name of fun. So send them in Twitter and Instagram at Sibling Rival Pod or siblingrivalpodcast@gmail.com. And then now we've got some would you rathers to finish us off. This first one, not really sure if you'll have an answer to it, because it's like superhero, but I'll read it out, and then if you don't, I'll just answer it. Would you rather team up with Wonder Woman or Captain Marvel? Do you know who either of those two people are? Not really. No. So
I won't have a bloody clue, won't I? I'm not really a big fan of that stuff.
No, but I'm a bit of a superhero nerd. But so I'm going to say Captain Marvel, and the reason being is the first Wonder Woman film is great. Captain Marvel, the film, great. Wonder Woman 2, one of the worst things I've ever tried to sift through in my entire life. I got 20 minutes into it, no idea what was going on. It was so shit.
You were just like, what?
So I just turned it off and never tried again since. So just purely because that second Wonder Woman film upset me so much, I'm saying Captain Marvel. Would you rather only be able to text in emojis or never be able to text ever again?
Mm.
So I use emojis probably quite a lot,
So do I.
but more just like the laughing face than anything else.
Mm.
But also, like, I don't want to do any of my communication not through text. I don't want to have to ring people to speak to them. I don't want people to have to ring me to speak to... Well, you can try and ring me. It won't come through because my phone's always on Do Not Disturb. And if you're not one of my immediate family members, I'm not ringing you back.
Oh, but you would if it was me, Mum, or Ben, or anything like
Yeah,
that.
maybe there's a handful of people, but off the top of my head, you three are the only three people I'd pick the phone up to if you phoned.
Mm.
So, like, I'll ring yous back if I miss a call off yous. Anyone else, I'm just like, if it's that
Nah, sod
important,
off.
if it's that important, he'll text me. So I don't want to have any communication not through text.
Yeah.
So I think that means I'd have to communicate in emojis.
Yeah, same here. I hate having to call people. But if oh god.
It just gives me panic attacks.
Well, if it's family, then I'm fine. If it's anyone
I'm
else,
not.
forget it.
Just don't ring me. Just text me. Just text me. And if text me and say, "Can I ring you?" Don't even do that actually, because the answer will be no. I won't. I'm not speaking to you on the phone.
I'd have to text with emojis then, because
I can't.
I can't handle calling
I
people.
can't handle. Yeah, like text is my main way of communicating with people. So I am not having that taken away from me.
No.
So we're both going emojis.
Yeah.
This. Would you rather have a third nipple or an extra toe? That's solid. So, hasn't Harry Styles got 4 nipples? Have you never heard that before?
No.
I'm sure I think it's him. One of them anyway. I'm sure it's Harry Styles.
Remember Chandler on Friends with his
His
third
nubbin.
nipple?
Yeah, that's what made me think. That's what I thought of. Was Chandler, what's that? Oh, that's my nubbin. And then she freaks out and won't date him again, and she's only got one leg. And he's like, look past it. And then she finds his third nipple. Anyway, we're going off topic. I don't know what I'd rather. I don't like feet anyway.
See, you'd have to get a specialist.
I don't know though. Could you not just get a bit of a bigger shoe? Just go like one size too big, maybe. But a third nip, I don't know. An extra toe is gross as well. They're both gross.
I think I'd rather have a third nipple.
But where is it? You know what I mean? Where does it go? Like,
As long as you can cover it up, it's fine.
yeah, but then like, I don't know. I feel like the extra toe is less weird, and like it's more like I don't know if it's less weird. It's still very very weird, but also like it's something that people would be aware of so much quicker than if you had a third nipple. So if you had a third nipple, people would they'd have to know you quite like intimately, wouldn't they, to see it? And then I feel like you'd have more embarrassment over that. And I don't know. I'm going extra toe, and I can't articulate why. That's what I'm going for.
I think I'm going with Ben.
What a strange question. Anyway, would you rather have to write everything you say out by hand, or only be able to speak in rhymes?
Oh, Jesus.
So like,
I'd rather be able to write. I can't.
no, but you'd have to write everything you say. You'd have to write down. So this whole podcast, we'd have to be both writing everything down by hand,
Oh no.
or only speaking in
Oh
rhyme.
no. Speaking rhymes, then, because imagine the bloody cramp you get in your hand.
And I feel like you'd get quite good at it.
I wouldn't be able to read your handwriting.
No, my handwriting's dog shit. I wouldn't be able to read it. But you don't need to. No one needs to read it. You just got to write it down. Because you can still speak, but you just got to write everything you say down. But I feel like that's just a nightmare, isn't it?
No, I'd have to speak in rhymes.
Well, that's hard though, because I can't even like feel under pressure right now. I couldn't do it.
No, I couldn't.
I can't think of any rhymes. And I'd love to be able to speak in rhyme because I could pretend I was a rapper. Can't believe I just said that out loud. But I think I'd go with that one purely because I feel like I feel like being able to speak in rhyme is like a skill as well.
It is.
Whereas just writing everything out by hand,
It's
it's going to hurt,
painless.
innit? It's going to hurt. My writing's terrible. It wouldn't get any better. It'd probably get worse. And then when you do need to write stuff down, it's going to be such a ball ache to do more writing.
No, but my handwriting's not that bad, is it?
No, but if you were writing everything you said down,
I know that. Oh God.
you'd just
It'd hurt your
put that on the
hand.
table because you probably keep leaning out the shot. I say that now like the end of the podcast. Never mind, I've brought it up at some point, haven't I? Yes.
Sorry, there's this annoying fly that keeps.
So I think I'd speak in rhyme.
Yeah, same.
But I don't know, only just though, probably. No, writing everything down's so much worse, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I suppose if you speak in rhyme as well, you just have to consider what you're saying a bit more.
Mm.
So you'll probably speak less, but you choose your actual word. I don't know if you choose your words more carefully, actually. It's a good skill anyway, whereas writing, just annoying, innit?
That's a pain in the ass.
I used to hate writing all day in school. Like I used to get like
Oh.
marks on my fingers and stuff.
So did I.
I don't want to do
No,
that.
but do you know, because I'm left-handed and I hold my pen weirdly. I used to, because with my nails, it always used to dig into my palm, so like I'd end up with like nail, like, you know, like crescent moon.
Oh yeah, like dig into ya. So yeah, speaking rhymes.
Yeah,
Me too.
seems like the easier choice.
Yeah, it does. This one is brutal. Would you rather get your wisdom teeth pulled out or your bum cheeks pierced?
Who chose these?
I've got a fat ass as well. It'll kill.
I didn't need to know that.
Oh, they're both rough, then.
I thought I was going to be wisdom teeth because my pain tolerance isn't great though.
Yeah, but that hurts as well, doesn't it?
I know that.
But at least that's over then, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've just got them pulled out and it's over. Because if you'd had your bum cheeks pierced, I would imagine you don't want to keep them pierced. So you'd probably be like, as soon as they can come out, I'm taking them out. I'm taking me arse studs out. What kind of piercing would you even get in your arse? If anyone's got an arse piercing, can you let us know, please? I'm absolutely fascinated by this. But I don't think I could go. I don't think I could go through that. I don't want to get my arse out for someone to pierce it either.
Same here.
So I'm going wisdom teeth
Same.
because who's getting their arse cheeks pierced? How is this a thing? There must be somebody out there who's got them done or one of them done. But if you have, fuck, rather you than me. That's grim. Anyway, sorry, I'm just me having a fit about who gets the bum pierced. You ready to move on?
Yeah, go on.
Would you rather have a face that everyone laughs at or a name that everyone laughs
We've
at?
already done this one.
Have we?
Yeah.
What did we pick?
I think we picked a name.
I would have picked name, so I would have said like you could get like
Yeah, I think we've done
you
this
could
one.
do a nickname, but you can't really change. And if everyone laughs at your face, it's just
You can't really change your face though,
no,
can you?
it's soul destroying, isn't it?
I think we have done this in one of our earlier episodes.
Fair enough. We'll move on then. If we haven't done that one, sorry, we both go name. Would you rather be in a lift full of noisy high school students or a lift full of judgmental middle-aged men?
High school students.
Would you?
Well,
I suppose, yeah, judgmental middle-aged men for a woman's a different scenario, isn't it?
yep.
But I'd get in with judgmental middle-aged men because I'd just be like, I don't give a fuck what you're thinking, at least you're quiet.
I'd rather get in with high schoolers, to be honest.
How long is this lift as well? Like, how long are you in it? Because I feel like noisy high school... No, I couldn't get in a lift with noisy. I'm a bit older than you, and I hate kids now.
I can't call myself a kid, can I?
No, you're not a kid anymore. I mean, like a high school students as well.
Yeah.
Can't stand them, do me then. They're all loud and squealy and...
Is that how you felt about me when I was in high school?
No, but you and my sister, it was different, wasn't it? And you were quite well behaved and
I was quite quiet, actually.
quite quiet, yeah. Be arsed with screaming kids, or it was middle-aged men is better than like 15-year-old kids. Even if say if you're in the lift with like 6 15-year-old lads, That'd be worse than being in a lift with
If
six
they weren't talking to me, then that'd be
middle-aged men.
fine.
I don't know, just the noise. I feel like the judgmental middle-aged men, you know they're judgmental, great, but they're probably not going to speak to you because they're men. And I don't want to speak to anybody.
And
So
whereas if it's like 15-year-olds,
I
well,
think,
if it was 15-year-old lads, imagine them trying to talk to me.
I think my anger would be worse in that scenario than a judgmental one. Because I would literally just be like, I don't care what you think, because you're all weird old men. Middle-aged, I'm probably middle-aged now and I'm calling them old. Would I rather be in a lift with full of people my age? No, middle age is older than me, isn't it? Like 40 odd, I think.
I don't know.
But I feel like middle-aged men are going to not speak. They're just going to look at you. But you can just go, all right, sound, whatever. Whereas noisy kids, I'd be like, just standing there for 5 minutes like I want to strangle all of these children. Oh, shouldn't have said that out loud. Hypothetically speaking, I wouldn't do it, obviously.
You know, I'd rather be surrounded by judgment.
You change your mind.
Yeah.
I just feel like middle-aged kids. I feel like high school kids would do your head in so much more. Especially the longer you're away from that, the more annoying they get as well.
Oh, they'd be annoying to me now. Not even high school kids are annoying to me now. Never mind.
Right, so that's all of them. Enjoyed that this week. I think it's our longest one ever as well.
I think so.
So that's good. Yeah, we had a bit of a boost in listeners and viewers last week. So if you're new, thanks again for checking us out. Even if you're not new, actually, if you're still with us and you've been with us all this time, thanks for that as well.
You just continue to figure out how nuts we are.
Yeah, but I feel like we're finding our feet a little bit with it.
We are.
We're enjoying it. It's a good laugh. So yeah, we appreciate all the support we're getting. Please start sending some more stuff in. That was the one thing I'd like to ask.
It helps us loads.
And it just gives us ideas for like features and helps us come up with ideas for stuff we want to talk about as well.
Yeah, because we kind of struggle with that, don't we?
Well, I think it's because we leave the plan until the very last minute.
Well, yeah.
But it would also just give us a boost in terms of like knowing people are listening as well, and I like reading other people's stuff out because it makes me feel less embarrassed about my own life. So yeah, that's it for this week. Thanks everyone. Follow us on Twitter or whatever it's fucking called now, X.
Oh God.
I'm calling it Twitter.
It's ridiculous.
Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Sibling Rival Pod. Send us emails in to siblingrivalpodcast@gmail.com. I'm on Instagram and Twitter at @TomFurlong_.
And I'm on both of those as XE Harrison X.
Yeah, thanks for checking us out. We'll see you again next week. Love you.
Love you too.
Bye everyone.
Bye.